With so much information on here on YouTube and online on how to properly do on-page SEO for the homepage of a website, especially for local SEO, I want to break it down in a simplest way possible to show anybody, basically a novice, anybody who doesn't even know what to do when it comes to building out a website, how to properly structure the homepage for local SEO. Let me show you how to do it. What up there, guys? Is here once again with Get Busy LLC, helping home service business owners, small businesses, and contractors understand this internet stuff, website design, SEO, and getting their business found online. In this video, I'm going to talk about structuring the homepage of your local business website and structure it correctly so it could rank very well for local SEO. Now, before I begin, I want to talk about just like SEO and this algorithm stuff from Google overall because there's so much information online on YouTube, on Google, on all kinds of different places on things that you should do in order to rank well on Google. At the end of the day, the way that I see it, it's just most of it, I probably would say, is theory. Probably 100% of it is theory. I always tell people Google's not out there with the rule book and just hands it over to you and say, here you go. Here's the rules of what you need to do in order to get your website to that first page of Google or your Google business profile. People are all theorizing. They're all theorizing what it really takes to get to the top. And one of the major problems that I see is I see a lot of information given out to build out websites, to build out online stuff, to manipulate the algorithm, to manipulate Google search engine. That's the goal of it. When I think about it, I think about you building a website, you structuring your homepage for local SEO and structuring for a human being. Because at the end of the day, that's who you're targeting, anyways. If you're a local service, you're targeting real people, real human beings that you want them to reach out to you, fill out that email form, give you a phone call, or at least look through your website and start getting familiar for the services that you provide in your local market. So when I build out all these websites for people or some of the ones I've done in the past, when I was learning all this stuff, in the beginning, everything I did was to follow these so-called rules that existed for Google, trying to manipulate the algorithm in order to get my pages to rank well. And as time went on, years of learning all this stuff, I started to realize, what do I think about when I go on a website? What are the things that I like to see? What are the things that catches my attention, makes me scroll, makes me take action, makes me fill out an email form? Again, thinking back like a human being. So ultimately, that led me into creating my own design, my own websites, my own structures, my own rules. And over the years, I've seen a lot of the websites that I've built for other people rank all the way to the top of Google with not much effort other than building it and structuring the website correctly. Because I theorize that when you build something nice that people interact with and people like and people are clicking through or skimming through, scrolling on there, spending a little time dwelling on the website a little bit, I theorize some way, somehow, Google measures all that stuff and it favors that website and causes it to climb up higher and higher as time goes on. Still, there are some fundamentals that you need to follow and understand when properly structuring the homepage of your website for local SEO. And if you do the basics right, you're going to be on the right path. And you have to remember your homepage is the most important page on your website because that's the one that drags along the rest of the pages of your website, like the service page, additional services that you provide, your about page, your contact page, just the entire website. It's built out from the top down. So if you do this right, it's going to put you on the right path of getting your business found online for the services you provide in your local market and get those people out there to start finding you and start giving you calls for leads. So let me show you the structure that you could follow that I sincerely believe anybody can follow and anybody can do. And we, even with the help of ChatGPT, help you write some of that content. And the reason I believe this, because I'm just a former ready-mix concrete driver, delivery driver for Lowe's. I learned all this stuff, so I figure anybody else could learn it too. It just takes a little bit of time and a little bit of practice. So let me show you. Okay, so this is how you structure your homepage for local SEO. I'm going to try to keep this very, very basic, very, very simplistic, just like I said, for anybody to understand. So the first thing you need to do is forget about all this keyword research, forget about all that stuff that just overcomplicates things. Let's say we're going to use the example of a concrete contractor out in Fresno, California. Okay, let's say that's what you do. That's the service you provide. That's what you want to get found for, right? So what you need to think about is the very first thing you need to do, the subject of your homepage should be that you are a concrete contractor in Fresno, California. So that's the very first thing you need to do is add in the H1 title tag. Every website builder has something called the H1 title tag built into their system. So when you put that in the main header of your website, that should be the H1 title tag that tells Google what your website's going to be about. Not only that, you're building out a website for a human being. So let's try to remember that you got to build this website for a human being, to like, not Google to like. Which the crazy thing is if a human being likes it, somehow Google understands that human beings like this particular website. It's going to favor that website. So don't build a website for Google, build it for human beings, but follow these basic SEO rules for the on page of the homepage. So that's going to be the subject of your website. You're a concrete contractor in Fresno, California. And this relates to any other industry: roofing, plumbing, HVAC guy, junk removal, carpet cleaning, house cleaning. It doesn't matter. The same thing applies. The next thing you have to think about is you have to make sure you start adding in something called H2 title tags. The H2 title tags reinforce the home page's subject. So if you're a concrete contractor in Fresno, California, say these are some of the services I provide for our concrete contractor services in Fresno, California. This Fresno concrete contractor is different because of this, things like that. So it's telling a human beings as they're scrolling and reading it that they're getting the idea, okay, this website's about a concrete contractor in Fresno, California. They're starting to see just by glancing at the page, just what this whole page is going to be about. And then the next thing you have to think about when you're building out this homepage of your website is the content of the website. Now, this was something that I learned, like, so when I started doing all this stuff, I learned it to build out rank and rent websites. So basically, I build out websites in industries in certain cities so that it'll climb to the first page of Google. I start collecting these leads and I try to sell them to a home service business owner, a home business, or a contractor somewhere in the area. That's how I started to learn these things. And some of the things that I was taught was to, whoever's your competition, outdo them. Some of the first pages of Google have websites that have 2,000 words of content. Write 2,500 words. If they have 1,200 words of content, write 1,500 words of content. If they have 3,000 words of content, you need to write 4,000 words of content. See, that goes back to trying to work Google's algorithm and trying to work the SEO stuff, when in reality, you just need to build a website for a human being. So if I'm a human being and I go onto a website and there's just a wall of content, even though there's headlines and subheadlines, I'm going to be turned off. I want nothing to do with that website. I'm just going to get the hell off of there. I'm going to be overwhelmed. I want something where I can scroll and check out and see what they got going on. And again, you have to think about it as a human being. So what are you going to write on the content? Okay, so let's say you're a concrete contractor. You know your industry more than anybody, correct? Or if you're a junk removal business owner, you've been in the business for a while. Carpet cleaning, roofing, gutter installation, whatever it might be, you know the subject, right? So on your homepage, all you do is just talk about what you do. It's like you going out to a barbecue and there's a bunch of people that are there that you don't know, and you start meeting and you start talking to them. They start asking what you do and say, hey, man, I'm a concrete contractor out here in Fresno. I do stamped work. I do decorative concrete. I do patios. I do driveways. I even do repairs. I even do large scale concrete work, things like that. I do concrete work out in this area, mostly Fresno, but I do some in Clovis and some of these smaller cities in the area. I don't really go more than 30, 40 miles. I keep everything local. Do you see what I'm saying? When you're talking just normally, that's the type of stuff you need to put on your website and structure it correctly so that it starts to rank better, because Google's algorithm is going to read that, first of all. And eventually, when it starts to crawl and some human beings start to read that website, it's going to catch on and people are going to start to like that website, and it's going to climb higher on the search results. So let me show you some examples of stuff that I did years and years ago following these rules when I was learning, and some of these websites are on page 1 of Google. So these are a couple of lead gen websites, rank and rent websites, whatever you want to call them. I built years and years ago. They're still out here on Google. I don't really do anything with them. They're just sitting there. These are great for examples though. But just to show you, I built these out on Weebly a long time ago when I was learning all this stuff. But I really took into account and started to learn all this stuff. And I built this website here. It's this junk removal Salinas. And my stuff pictures of the old business owner that was renting it back in the day. But you can see here, junk removal Salinas is the H1 title tag of this website. And this is telling Google, this is what we want to get found for. At the same time, I'm telling customers this is what we do. Got junk to haul? Give us a call. And I remember I didn't know how to write. I didn't know how to. I probably spent hours upon hours and hours writing all this crap, doing the typos. I was horrible. Again, I'm not a freaking wizard when it comes to writing. Now, thanks to ChatGPT, it fixes all my technicals. I mean, all my misspells and my punctuations. It's a godsend. It's wonderful. But here's what I did. See, and I wrote some content. This is, I mean, I did. Those are the rules that were just given to me. Oh, you need to do this, 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 and that. Okay, and go. Okay, I'm like, well, how do I structure it? I don't really. I mean, it was a pain in the ass, but I did it, and I wrote all this stuff. And you can see this is an H2 title tag, working with junk removal services, simple process, right? And these are more H2 title tags, junk removal Salinas list of things that we take. This is just the formula that I came up with, and that was it. That's my homepage, and I didn't build any other pages. I just built a homepage, an about page, and a contact page. That's all I did. And this sucker, I didn't do any backlinking. I didn't do any of that stuff. And all I have to take into account, back in the day when I built this, nobody else had built a website out there. So I was just filling a void. And this thing over time just ranked all the way to the top without doing no backlinks, nothing like that. And there it is sitting right there. And here's another one. Again, rank and rent type of website I built out years ago. Still here at the top of Google. Let's see if I type in junk removal Santa Barbara. You're going to see here's number 2 right under Yelp. Like I said, no backlinking, none of that stuff. Just the on-page SEO, the basic rules. And I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't even know how to put the, what do they call, the image text into the images. I had really no idea that you were supposed to do that. Later on, I went back and did that. But just, I'm telling you, just the basic stuff and just talking like a human being. So Santa Barbara junk removal, you call, we haul. You can see the same damn website. I didn't really know how to write it all. This is a different design I came up with. This one, kind of the same little principles there. But if you take all this content, you copy all this content here. There's a website called Word Counter. You can copy the content of a website, put it on here, and just to tell you how many words you got on here. There you go, 1,000 words. Let's see the Salinas one. So I theorize you don't really need that much content as long as the content's good and it's telling the customer what you do, and just letting them know what it is that you provide and all that stuff. Again, like I said, building a website for a human being, not Google. So let's go here. There you go, 1,000 words of content for that Salinas website. And that's all it took to get it going. The cool thing about this tool too is that it tells you the keyword density of your content. You can tell right here, it says Santa Barbara junk removal, that sort of thing. So you get an idea that this whole page is about junk removal in Santa Barbara or Salinas or whatever it might be. And that's how I did it. But over time, after doing this for so long, it was just so brutal and so difficult to come up with a way to build out these websites where it was easier to write the content, make them in a way where people can engage with them some more, fill out some email forms, that kind of thing. And for that reason, I came out with my own design and my own template that's worked remarkably well, always keeping in mind that I'm building websites for human beings. So over the years, I started to learn how to build websites more on WordPress. I started to learn more of how to structure them. I've paid for other places to show me how to build websites in a different manner. I've learned some copywriting skills. I've learned things like that to simplify this whole process and make it a lot easier to do on-page SEO for a local website or local business. And I ultimately came up with this structure right here and this design that, number one, it allows somebody, like, especially like I said, I built all this stuff for myself when I built these websites for people because, like I said, it was so hard. It would take so much time. But I'm like, eventually, I want to do this and eventually be able to teach somebody that I hire to help me build these websites. How would I teach them to do it my way and make it very, very simple? So I came up with this template that kind of forces you, the home service business owners, the local contractor, whoever it might be, kind of forces you and walks you through the whole process, makes it easy to build out a website for a human being, which follows those rules of SEO and makes your website be able to rank very well, very, very well on Google. So here's the template that I came up with. I even have a website right here. I'll put a link in the description so you guys can check out the template design here. Contractorwebsitetemplate.com. So this is the H1 title tag. So this forces anybody who wants to build out a website or structure it correctly. It says, we are the best, let's say, carpet cleaner in Clovis, California. There you go. Now you have the website set up perfectly with the H1 title tag. Now you're telling your customer and Google the subject of this website. We are offering the best carpet cleaning in Clovis and surrounding areas and the surrounding area, how and what the customer will get out of it. We clean the shit out of your carpets and make them look great. Feature, feature, feature. We've been in business for 10 years. We give free quotes, the best equipment, whatever it might be. And then I created a section that tells people, it basically reminds them why they were online in the first place. I'm like, oh, I'm looking for a carpet cleaning business, right? Are you looking for carpet cleaning in Clovis, California? Yes, exactly. As a matter of fact, I am. And the reason I am is because number one, here's 6 questions that the customer is going to be asking themselves as to why they need their carpet cleans. My carpets are hammered; they need to be cleaned. I got so many stains; I don't know what to do with them. I got so many pet hair and stains on my carpets. I don't really want to replace my carpet. I just want it cleaned. Things like that, right? Things that the customer's thinking about when they're looking for a carpet cleaning business. And we are welcome to Izzy's Carpet Cleaning. We are awesome at cleaning the shit out of your carpets here in Clovis, California. And this one here is an H2 title tag. Again, reinforcing the subject of this website. And this is why we are awesome at what we do. And this is where you tell your customers, like, we use all the best equipment. We've been in business for so long. We're local here in the area, provide free quotes and things like that. And you go into it here a little bit, talk about it naturally, like the person at the barbecue, what you do. And then I add another H2 title tag. Clovis, California, carpet cleaning. Here are the types of flooring and stuff that we clean. We clean tile, we clean single rooms, we do entire homes, we do upholstery cleaning, furniture cleaning. Hell, we even do cleaning of seats in cars, whatever it might be, right? Like I said, again, back to having a conversation with somebody at the barbecue, and then you go into more detail about the service in each section, a couple of sentences here and there. And then you tell people what makes you different from other carpet cleaning businesses or whatever the service you might be. We are different because we do this, because we do this. I know your carpets look like hell, and we can make those carpets last longer, extend the life of them. Reach out to us. We'll give you a free quote. Call us right here. Slap on some logos. So then in this next section, I tell the customers what can they expect from our services. And it's totally differs from all types of different services. Let's say you're a tree service company. What is the process you tell your customers that when you get on the phone, says, well, I need to go out there. I'm going to give you a quote on what we're going to do. I'm going to extend to the work. Here's the time we can do it. This is how we pay. This is how you pay for it. We're going to give you an estimate, yada, 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 this whole thing, right? And you break it down and put it into steps here. You can make this 2 steps, 3 steps, 4 steps, whatever it might be. It totally depends on the industry. And you kind of walk the customer through so they know what to expect. And this is where I add another H2 title tag, Clovis, California, carpet cleaning services. Here's some of our reviews. And this is where you can embed your Yelp reviews, your Google reviews, whatever reviews you got, you can slap them in here and they'll show up. And here's an email form and then a final call to action and all that stuff. And in this whole process, when you're writing all this and structuring it all out for yourself, you're going to find out that eventually, when you have it all structured correctly, you wrote it, followed this template, all the on-page SEO is done for you. Later on, you can just SEO optimize the pictures. I have a video talking about that on another video, but just this is the basic stuff. And then what this ends up being are these sections are H3 title tags that further reinforce the subject of your homepage, thus allowing it to climb higher on the search results. And I want to share with you guys one I recently did for an asphalt paving contractor in a smaller town out in, I forgot the state, South Carolina, I believe. And we just built out his website. He's working on getting his business profile set up. I don't know when he's going to get that going, but just to show you here, asphalt paving easily. And his website, again, 0 backlinks, nothing else. There's his website right there, placed right in front of people looking for the potential of for a paving contractor. And here's the template at work. Asphalt paving easily, top tier, easily asphalt paving services, specialized in residential driveways, blah, 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 right? 30 years of experience, exceptional quality, owner on site on every job. Are you looking for a trustworthy asphalt paving company in Easley, South Carolina? And here's the questions they might be asking themselves, the customers. Priority Paving provides expert service to residential commercial needs, from driveways to sports courts. We ensure long-lasting results. This is why we're different. This is some of the things that separates us, right? Expert craftsmanship, 30 years, top quality materials. The owner's hands-on. He's on every single job. Easily, asphalt paving services. Here's some of the projects that we do: residential asphalt, commercial, repairs, tennis courts, snow removal, seal coating. Again, this is type of stuff that he would tell somebody at a barbecue that doesn't know who he is, and they want to know more about the services he provides. And we just talk about a little bit about each one of these right here in a completely natural, non-spammy, just write it out with the help of ChatGPT and just write these little sections out. And what makes us different from other companies. We went over that, what they can expect, every step covered, how we deliver top quality asphalt solutions. Boom, 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 boom. Here's his reviews embedded into his site. He actually has a Google listing profile in another town. He's working on moving it over to another town. Here's the email form, and then a final call to action. And that's it. That's perfectly structured. There's more to the on-page stuff, like linking out to other pages, but this is just the basics of properly structuring the homepage for local SEO. So there you have it. That's how you structure the homepage of a website for local SEO. If you do it that way, even if you use it the old-fashioned way, when I used to do it with Weebly, as long as you do it correctly, you follow the H1, the H2s, and some of that content correctly. If you do it, like I said, create that content for a human being, I think you're going to do very well. That's also depending on the competition. If you're a local business with a lot of competitors, you're going to need a lot more than that. But if you're just, like I said, a home service business owner or a contractor in something like asphalt, concrete, roofing in a smaller area, like 100,000, 200,000 people, you got a fighting chance of getting that website to the first page of Google. Now, is it possible to get those things up to the first page of Google without any backlinks? I strongly believe that you can. Of course, it depends on the competition and other things. I created a video talking about that. You can check out there right there. And if you guys need help with any of this stuff, you want to see the services I provide, just go down the description below. I'll also provide a link to that template in the description below. And that's all I got for you guys today. Until next time.